Hi. What's up?
Oh, perfect. Hello. Hey, everybody.
Hey.
What is up indeed? Welcome to another episode of Trek in the Valley. Welcome. My name is Adam Ordall Quinnell. I'm one of your hosts here with...
Hi, what's up? I'm Al Hirt here.
My buddy Al. And we are, every week, we get together in Van Nuys, California to discuss an episode of Star Trek, the original series. And last week, here, usually we talk about, let me pull up my little notes. Oh, we do need the IMDb as well, though. Right.
Also, though, what was the what did we watch last week? There's also the Kurt Chekhov.
Yeah, well, right? we're getting there. I don't know why my computer is deciding that my Google Drive just doesn't want to work. Why would it do this to me? Oh, there we go. So, hey, welcome to episode 25 of Trek in the Valley. We're going to talk about the 26th episode of Star Trek the original series. Last week we talked about The Devil in the Dark.
Oh yeah,
anything you want to say?
One.
Yeah, well, it was like a
little
sentient sludge. It was like a sludge. It was like a stand from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a pretty solid one.
Love it. It's one of my favorites because I love the creature effects and
the tunnels that they make were really cool too.
Interesting creature with interesting motivations. I enjoyed it. And this week, it's an important episode. It seems like
why do you say that?
Because it's the first Klingons. It's the first appearance of Klingons.
That's the big one.
So it seems like every couple episodes we're getting like an introduction to some major
massive thing, like
race or conflict, or I love it. It's really, it's just an excellent. Like, I realize now why I didn't like original series as much before I had seen all the other Star Trek stuff, but having seen all the other Star Trek stuff now, going back and rewatching it. It's like, oh, it's very interesting how they spun all of that shit
just from like these few episodes.
Just out of it, yeah. Like the germ of so much of Star Trek is just in this first 30 episodes. Not even just the original series.
Like a space seed, would you say?
Exactly. Well, Space Seed and the Romulan one.
Balance of Terror is pretty good.
Yeah, Balance of Terror.
Well, I was just gonna say in the compendium, it's starting to say like the show's getting more serious. They're planning on having revisiting villains and doing all that. So it's kind of like him making a structure.
Yeah, and
I'll get more to it at the end of this episode.
And the compendium that Al's referencing, if you're relatively new to the show, is of course what's it called?
The Star Trek Compendium by Alan Asherman.
Yep,
just a big reference book.
It's basically like if you went to the Scholastic Book Fair in 1991. This would be like the Star Trek book that they have there that's on sale. The episode we're talking about this week is called Errand of Mercy. And we'll discuss the title. See, now that we know how it ends, the title makes a lot of sense. And the original air date of this, spooky, March 22nd, 1967. Oh shit, I thought today was the 22nd. No. Today's the 30th.
30th, yes.
We're recording this on March 30th, 2023. And a date that we're not going to get into it, but will be remembered in history if you're listening to this in the future. You know what the fuck I'm talking about. But this episode of Star Trek aired on March 22nd, 1967, so about 130 years ago. And the synopsis from Paramount Plus, our sponsors, is Kirk and Spock battle Klingons to free Organia.
Oh. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's a good description.
And usually these descriptions are a lot more like that's very straightforward. But once we get into what happens on Organia, the title of the episode, this description, it all like takes on a whole new dimension. And of course,
the plot thickens literally.
But before we get into that, of course, the most important feature of our show is the Chekhov check-in.
Oh, yes, of course.
We're in 5 episodes. We're 5 episodes away from season 1 of episode 2, which will also be the second season of our podcast.
Hey,
we're coming up
go.
on that. Hey, look at that.
Wow. We're
going to continue to give this to you for free, but I'm thinking of ways for you to give me money.
We'll see.
We're working hard. But yeah, it's basically it's just my dad listening right now still. So, but we'll try and get some cash out of him. Or we'll have a dad level Patreon.
Yeah, there we go.
$500 a month. I wonder. I bet lots of kids. I bet lots of little Choder kids do that. They have like a parent level Patreon. All right. So. 5 episodes out of the end of season 1, and then we get the Klingons. Close. And our intrepid explorers in the United Starship Enterprise.
Space Federation.
Are blasting through space. They're heading to a planet called Organia because war is about to pop off with the Klingons.
They're all really nervous.
Everybody's really nervous about it, and this planet Organia has strategic value. Now, Kirk then gets a Code 1 message from Starfleet that says, war were declared, to quote Futurama. Basically, they're saying that negotiations with the Klingons are breaking down. We got to go to Organia to stop them from setting up a base. And then they get the thing that says war is declared. But there's a few little beats in this opening that I like because while Spock is explaining the Organians to Kirk.
Oh, yeah. It's a nice little setup to the whole episode.
He calls it a fucking class. He calls it a class D- on a cultural Richter scale. And then Kirk is like, like Belgium, the weak innocents.
Armenia.
The weak fucking
people
innocents.
That are in the way of the war.
Yes, basically. The people on the borders of the war who are weak and womanly.
It's really propping it up like in a funny way, and especially given the ending.
And just after all of that colonizer talk was thrown around, a bunch of blue explosions happen on the bridge of the Enterprise.
That was a really cool effect they did on the camera.
You really liked it.
I thought it was great. I thought they saved it.
I did too, and it really came out of nowhere.
I know. I was surprised.
It's a big pulsing blue light, and everybody falls over. And but there was also, it was out of focus. That's one thing that because they didn't know how to pull the focus quickly after the lights changed. But hilarious effect of them being attacked by Klingons. And then Code 1, war is declared.
Right.
And then
they go down.
And then they got to get to Organia.
And then before they go, they put Sulu in charge, right?
Sulu's now in charge. He's got the con, as they say. And Kirk and Spock go down to see what basically, they're going down to talk to the Organians and say, hey, the Klingons are going to come here and fucking set up a base. The Federation can stop them from doing that because you don't want the Klingons to be here because they are not white.
It gets kind of awkward. Yeah,
it's really weird. It's
debate,
done.
You know? Because that's what the whole, what is it called? That's what the, what is it called? The Organians kind of bring up. They're just like, how can we just trust you though? Like, you come out of nowhere too.
And he's like, but the Klingons
they're bad.
Are a military dictatorship. So they put Sulu in charge. Yeah. And he's like, hey, get out of here if that Klingon fleet shows up. One thing that I can't remember.
But Captain, no buts.
But one thing that I can't remember is but there was explosions on the bridge of the Enterprise. But what happened? Was the Klingon ship shooting at them? That was.
Yeah, it was shooting at them, and then I think they shot back, and Sulu was like, he's dead, all right.
They disabled the ship
everywhere.
And then they went and searched the debris, and then they're saying that could be the shot that started it all.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, that's like the Han shot first of the motherfucking Klingon.
The Klingon War?
What an important thing we saw.
I know, that was pretty big.
And so they beamed down.
This episode's kind of underplayed, though, too, I think.
Well,
given what it's like setting up.
And then, especially how So wait a second.
The Klingons
we'll talk about the end, but I'm just saying, it's fucked up because how does history report, how this war ended? That started and ended in a day? Yeah. There must have been another Klingon war that they're referencing, and there will be another one.
Yeah.
Because so they beam down, Spock and Kirk beam down basically they find a Ren fair. and there's like a castle, and
Yeah,
Spock
pretty
is
much.
like, this is not what this civilization should look like.
And I think the first giveaway, though, I mean, well, once you see the episode again, they beam down and they're like, wow, it seems like people beam down here every day. Like,
Nobody gives a shit.
Yeah, no one was shocked.
And this feller, this smiley older feller, Aelborn, greets them.
Yes. With his open palm greeting.
And yeah, they do this weird open palm greeting where they like make a W or they like
scoop around.
They scoop. Oh yeah, they scoop down.
Yeah.
Google it. Google the Organian palm.
Their hands.
Organian greeting.
And then everybody ends up doing it too, which is pretty funny.
The traditional Organian greeting. Yeah, seeing Kirk do it later to them, like sarcastically, like "fuck you." So. The basically Spock Kirk is like, hey, Ale guy, take me to your fucking leader. Who's in charge? And he said, well, nobody's in charge, but I guess I'm on the Council of Elders. I can help with that. And Kirk should have been like, obviously the Council of Elders is what I was fucking talking about. No shit. So he's you like, are in charge.
I am the most important one, I guess.
Yeah,
I think it kind of plays into the ending.
There's no authority.
Too, right?
There's no authority here, but there is a Council of Elders that I'm a part of. That's authority.
Oh my gosh. Knowing how this episode ends, like, yeah, I gotta watch it again. It's pretty good.
I want to hurry up and get to the end so that we can talk about it. But
so what happens next, though? So they take them into the council place.
They go into the council chambers,
and Kirk kind of goes off.
This is when Kirk is saying, "You all have to. The Klingons are military dictators. The Federation, we're just trying to help.
We're good.
Let us fucking help you." And Kirk says a few things that I don't like.
It gets awkward.
He says, "I'm a soldier, not a diplomat."
I can only tell you facts,
but I don't like that. Like, he's not a soldier.
He's a scientist, too.
And he's a captain. He's a captain of a fucking exploration and research vessel. He shouldn't be so quick to call himself a soldier.
Well, it's like he's kind of going into, like, brute mode of, like, I'm just telling you how it is. Like, I don't need some complicated, fancy words.
Yeah.
I think that's how he's coming off. But while this is happening, Spock's going around and saying, like, let's see if this is really a Class D planet.
Yep. And then Spock comes back and says, this is a stagnant society, no progress for tens of thousands of years.
Yeah, I was like, how did that happen? It's weird.
It's an arrested culture. And basically the leaders, they're not going to do anything. They're just like, you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, they're like, it's fine.
Just don't do violence.
Yeah.
And then,
that's the thing that you're saying, though, how it was like kind of gross how Kirk does it, because there's some scenes where Kirk's like, well, I don't know. You wouldn't want to be under Klingon dictatorship. It's like, well, isn't he kind of like inadvertently like threatening them with the Klingons?
That's the whole point,
right?
Yes,
yeah, it's like it's so awful.
It's like the shit that the U.S. does all the time. Right. Maybe I'll have another podcast that even less people will listen to. And something we should mention is the Organians seem to have a psychic.
Yeah, that part's cool.
A psychic is like, Klingons are beaming down. Klingons are beaming down, and then
I thought this episode was so dull until the end.
Yep, and then
you get all the little hints.
Klingons show up and shoot at Sulu. He leaves like he was told by Kirk, who's like, "Get the fuck out of here!" And then it goes to commercial, and
Spock's like, "We're alone," and he's like, what does Kirk say? He's like, Spock, you're like the king of understatements or something like that.
Yeah, he's like, you really are fucking nailing it, Spock, you asshole. And so we see our first Klingons, and they're basically white guys with shoe polish on their face. Got
little golden faces, and then the Captain Core.
Yeah, Captain Core is like the most Klingon-y.
Yes.
He definitely looks like an Asian stereotype from the 50s and
like
60s.
Some Genghis Khan shit.
Yes, it's fucked up. It's hilariously fucked up.
Maybe, what year was it? The 60s?
This was 67.
Okay. There was a weird frame of
reference.
There
was still racism.
Yeah.
Racism was still big. It is today.
Great frame of reference. True.
And so the Organians are going to hide Kirk and Spock. They're going to say Kirk is a businessman. They're going to say Spock is a Vulcan traitor. This is where Core, the military leader, he comes in and declares himself. He comes in and declares himself, I am Core, the military leader of Organia. And
they're
it's
like,
just
okay.
It's just they do not give a shit.
It's great, yeah.
Hold on, I'm gonna pause for just 1 second here.
Yeah, no problem.
And we're back.
Hey, what's up?
I had to pull up the IMDb because I wanted to give John Kalikos, the actor who played Kor, his due. He fucking rules. He comes in. He's got some mildly racist makeup on, but he still kills it. And his whole deal, he knows that Kirk, he believes that Kirk is just a businessman, right?
Yeah.
An Organian. But he notices there's a difference between Kirk and the Organians. What's some of the stuff he notices?
What, between the Kirk and the Organians?
Yeah.
What, just that, like...
No stupid smile is like the first thing he says.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And he sees that Kirk has a little fight in him.
Well, just that, like, what the fight is being what?
Kirk was just like, Kirk was resisting. And Kor noticed that the Organians never resisted.
That's true.
But Kirk was like standing up to him and he didn't like being pushed around.
They were kind of just being like, I guess, what is it? What's the word? I guess they're perfect enemies, I guess, in a way, right?
Well, no, they
both just kind of hated each other in their own way.
Yes, between the Federation and the Klingons.
For sure, yes.
Basically, Kor says, where's your stupid, idiotic smile like them? And then he says, this is where, because Kirk seems like he's kind of seething, and he says, yes, good, honest hatred, refreshing. You are all now subjects of the Klingon Empire. You'll follow our regulations or be killed. There's a lot of tension between Kirk and Kor, and Kor says crazy shit like, for every one Klingon soldier you kill if you rebel, 1,000 Organians will die. The Klingon costumes are hilarious. There's like a sash. The Klingons have a hilarious golden sash here. I wanted to get to Kor coming in and fucking shit up. Here we go. Very refreshing. So basically Spock, and then this is where Kor introduces the Mind Ripper or the Mind Sifter.
That's right.
Because he says, hey, because the first thing Kor says is the Vulcans are part of the Federation, those slimy fucking Vulcan fucks.
Yes.
And he's like, how do I know you're not some slimy Federation Vulcan fuck? And Spock is like, I am just a trader of dilithium and oromorium or whatever, unobtainium. And Kirk is going by Baroner. But Spock uses his own name, but then Kirk goes by Baroner.
Yeah.
And so then they're like, well, we'll find out who you are, and they're gonna take Kirk in for an interview, and they're gonna fucking get Spock in the brain melter.
Yeah, they said that they're gonna turn Spock into a vegetable. A vegetable.
The way that Kaliko pronounces
vegetable.
Yes, our mind melter will make you a vegetable. And so even under the mind melter, though, Spock survives and doesn't get his mind melted, and they still think he's just a merchant, and they even used Force 4 on the Mind Ripper, so you know shit is serious. And okay, so I want to look at this. If you're listening to this and you've got Paramount Plus, I want you to go to minute 20 minutes and 45 seconds. Look at this guy in the fucking background. Look at that guy. What has he got going on?
His face.
He's just a sooty-faced white guy with a big forehead, and then Kirk and Spock are talking about they're just explaining their plans in front of this one Klingon that's watching them. And it's so strange. They spent all of their Klingon makeup budget on Kor.
Yeah.
And it's very noticeable, but Kor looks pretty good, albeit kind of a caricature.
For sure.
So the whole thing with Kirk and Spock is they need to convince the Organians to do a rebellion.
Yeah.
Because they're
already taken over.
Even if the Organians aren't going to help, Spock and Kirk need to stop. They have their orders to stop Klingons from building a base.
No matter what. So they say they're pretty much screwed.
Then they
gotta try.
Yeah, and they do a little insurgency at night. They blow up a weapons depot, a weapons deposit, as they say in the biz. Yeah. And then after that, let me see here. So basically, they destroy the weapons to show the Organians that they can do rebellion.
Right.
But the Organians are like, blowing up weapons is fucking violence. We told you not to do violence.
Yeah.
And Kirk is so frustrated with these with the Organians. And then Kor, it turns out, has been listening to them this whole time.
Right.
And he busts in and he says Kor it's so funny because, and we'll get into this in the after wrap up, but because Kor is disgusted with the Organians because they're not warriors, right? They're not brave. And Kirk is disgusted with the Organians for the exact same fucking reason.
Right, exactly. That's like this. That's why this episode kind of came off strange to me. I get why people like it, but I was just like, man, they're both just like arguing for the same thing. These Organians are just like, yeah.
I believe the council even says, Kor makes the note to Kirk that says, "We're more alike than you think."
True. The writing does kind of save this, though. There's some good lines.
And Kirk is like, I'm nothing like you. Basically, Kor says it's always the brave, always the soldiers that have to die. I'm fucking disgusted by you sheep.
Yeah, right.
And it's regrettable. Basically, Kor gives Kirk 12 hours to either tell them all of his Federation secrets or they're going to dissect Spock's brain. They throw Kirk and Spock in a hilarious dungeon.
Yeah, and it's Kirk kind of like a little Stone Age dungeon, you know.
It's just, I love when they're like, we got a set that's a castle. This has to take place in a castle. And then once they're in the dungeon, the Organians show up.
They just walk up and they knock the door. And
they open the door.
Hey, you want to leave?
And Kirk is like, yeah. You fucking turned us in because
that's right.
Before this happened. So after they do the insurgency thing, they blow up the weapons depot. Kirk and Spock are talking to the council, and they're trying to tell them, "Hey, you gotta do insurgency."
Yeah, it's like,
and then Kor is watching them, and he comes in. And he's like, "We're gonna melt your brain, Kirk. Or we're gonna melt your brain, Baroner. You're gonna tell us who you are." Right. And then Ailman, the Organian, is like, "We're just gonna tell you. He's Captain Kirk of the Starship Enterprise. Now you don't have to do violence to him. You have the information that you want."
That takes care of that.
And all of this is gonna make so much more sense in about 10 minutes when we get to the end.
That's why, this episode's so weird.
It is, because then Kor kills 200 people, and he says, "In 2 hours we're gonna kill 200 more." And Kirk, and then they leave. And Kirk is like, I have no great love for you or your planet, but Spock and I will go out there and we will die for you.
Yeah, he's
and
like,
then
I can't have these people keep on dying.
Then they leave. Kirk and Spock leave to go fight the Klingons single-handedly. Well, there's two of them. Whatever you say for as a duo. And the council gets weird. They like bunch up next to the door and they like... ask their oracle what's going to happen, and he's like, they're going to come and do terrible fucking violence. God damn it, we try and tell them. Right. And then then Kor and Spock and Kirk end up in a room together. The Federation shows up out in the space, and they start fighting space. They're going to start a space war, right? And the Klingons, this Kor is just like, hey, why don't we just have a drink? Let's just have a drink and see what's going to be decided. We'll let our fleets fight it out, and they'll decide who controls the galaxy for the next 10,000 years. And Kirk is like, it's a big galaxy, and Kor is like, well, we're going to be very busy taking it over then. Oh my God, yeah. And so they're doing their sparring, and then eventually they try to do violence to each other, and it hurts. Their guns like melt. Their guns heat up in their hands, right?
Yeah, and it just kind of...
And then the council shows up, and we find out that all of this shit has been fucking bullshit.
Nope. Yeah.
So this is why the council was so chill. The council renders all the weapons in the room useless, and they're like, if you try... And because as soon as the weapons get hot...
Yeah,
they try to punch each other, and as soon as they try to punch each other, their hands get really hot. And they're like, oh my God.
Yeah, it's pretty trippy.
And so then the council is like, we've rendered your weapons useless, and if you try and hurt each other, you're going to be in a lot of pain. But this is what's even more fucked up.
What?
They did the same thing to the space fleets.
Yeah, they fucked all their guns up too.
Not everything.
Everything, yeah.
Then it cuts to Sulu, and Sulu is saying all of the panels are hot, and we're running. We can't do anything. And also, it's funny because Sulu pronounces it Klingon.
Oh, Klingons.
Because this is before they've got all the pronunciations for shit figured out.
Yeah.
And then the council says, hey, we're going to negotiate peace. And here's what's like totally insane about this.
Yeah, they kind of stop fighting.
They kind of paint them like the funny thing is we were just talking about the Klingons in this episode kick off Klingons forever. Right. Klingons for a million years. Klingons in Star Trek forever. They come hand in hand. They become part of the Federation in the future.
Exactly.
But what happened to these Organians? They can do like true. Where the fuck were they when all the other problems were happening? They've created so many OP races, like so many overpowered people that they're just like, well, we just snap our fingers and there's an they really overestimated aliens.
Oh, for sure. But I mean, that's like kind of like, the whole Q effect or just like, the whole like wiping the slate clean or just like, well, there we go, like. And I think it's to show how scary space is too, though. And it's like, I mean, they really don't know.
Knows what's out there.
Exactly. Yeah.
It does show the extreme of what they could find.
Go ahead.
Q is also the first episodes of Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Yeah.
So that makes.
But I think, especially at the end of this one too, Spock's like, "Wow, we're literally like just an amoeba compared to the Organians."
Yes.
And at the beginning, he was like, "Oh, they're a class D on the Richter scale of culture."
Good
There's
catch.
like a lot of good it's really like well wrapped, the episode. I think for me, just like
very well bookended.
Yes.
And the interesting part about the
also though, my bad. There's one more line I'm thinking of though. As soon as the the battle quote unquote ends or whatever, the war. Kirk was like, dang, I thought we were going to fight for a second. And Kor was like, yes, it would have been glorious.
Kor just wants to fight. He doesn't care.
It's so weird, though. I guess we'll cover it more at the end, but go ahead.
Before that, though, so Aelborn says, look, Kirk, Kor, Klingons, Federation, I'm standing here with you. I am also on the Klingon homeworld. And I'm on the Federation homeworld on Earth. And I'm negotiating peace between your races. And we've disabled all your weapons across the galaxy. And we're going to fucking figure this out. And so that is nuts. Like, to think that there would just be, you're like at the Klingon Council, you're about to go to war with the Federation, you got your two fleets nose to nose over this fucking planet with castles and shit on it. And then somebody just appears and is like, hey, I'm one of the primitive D- motherfuckers on that planet. We got to talk, or every time you touch a bat'leth, it's going to burn your fucking hands off. And then that's it. The peace is negotiated, and like you said,
it ends in like 2 seconds.
Yeah, Kor even says it would have been glorious. And what I want to know...
That's kind of a nice other bookend, too, because it's just like, Kirk's definitely thinking the same thing. I don't know. I just felt like if this episode ended in them just fighting, this would have been a really shitty Star Trek episode. I think it's the fact that they wrap it all up with the aliens. I think that's what makes it good.
Well, I think that what makes it good is how it shows that the Klingons and the Federation are the same. It shows that Kirk actually is a savage little piece of shit because the Council is like, Kirk, why are you defending war?
Yeah.
And Kirk is like, I'm not. Wait, hold on. No, I'm not defending. Look, war. Nobody wants war. Like, nobody wants war.
You want to be a sheep?
Well, Commander, it's
so
just
stupid.
And funny, so though. Kirk understands how dumb he was. The Klingon does not get it.
No, of course
and
not.
That's showing the difference between the two. Like, Kirk is like, oh man, my face is fucking red, and the Klingon is just like, gotta go find somebody else to fight.
Yeah, and especially on the bridge when he's like, Spock, that was terrifying. Like, we really don't know what's out there. And Spock's like, no, we just got humbled, I think.
Kirk was embarrassed because he was mad at the Organians for stopping a war he didn't want.
Exactly.
That's what he says.
It's
I'm
so
mad
bizarre.
because, and ultimately it's so funny because it comes down to like the same stuff that these freedom chuds are always talking about. That's
how
what
it
Kirk
goes.
That's what Kirk was saying throughout, and we did not mention it once. But Kirk kept saying, you have to be in charge of your own shit.
Freedom, yeah.
You have to stand up. You have to be in charge. We can't do this for you, but they just kept trying to do it for them.
Yeah.
And if they would have just listened to the Organians at any point, because
that's the good point. There's both sides that listen to them.
He says, and Aelborn says, "Hey, it's fine."
Yeah, exactly.
Nothing,
he says that multiple
because
times.
that's what they say at the end. Because what ultimately the big M. Night Shyamalan twist here is the Organians are a millions of year old civilization that is basically evolved into energy beings. And so they're these all-powerful energy beings, and that are so powerful they can stop two warring fleets from fighting each other. And they are going to stop this war. But and then they tell them to leave. They tell Kirk and Spock to leave because the mere presence of such primitive, violent beings hurts them.
Yeah.
Hurts the Organians because they say millions of years ago we were like you.
That, yeah.
And just the fact that you're here hurts us. And that's so interesting because I've thought that about myself.
What?
Like remembering my own past. Like if you meet somebody that reminds you of something negative about yourself, and that's such a human idea to put on these superior beings,
right?
That have millions of years of additional evolution.
Well, they could have just like kicked them off the planet and not had anything to do with them. The fact that they even like entertained this whole thing, maybe that was like kind of like an idea for them or an experiment.
There was
It's weird. They knew the planet was.
It's an interesting episode because these are all powerful pacifists,
right?
And where the fuck are they now? Like, why weren't they stopping the Dominion War?
Yeah, right.
Like, why didn't the Federation or the Borg? Why didn't the Federation reach out? How would they get assimilated?
How would they even get called?
Well, it's because
they
don't
contact them.
They would just go to Organia and walk around and be like, "Hey,
where's the council, man?
Where's the council? Aelborn, remember?
Aelborn, yes.
We've got it up here on the screen, and Kirk is just talking about the. Kirk is explaining. Kirk is like, "What are you?"
I have the quote. Yeah,
what are you? Aelborn is telling him, "What are you defending?" And Kirk says, "Even if you have some power that we don't understand, you have no right to dictate to our Federation or the Klingon Empire how to handle their interstellar relations." And Kirk says, "We have the right." And Aelborn says, "To wage war, Captain?"
Yeah, right.
You have the right to kill millions of people.
Aelborn to do what they're just going to do, but like longer.
So Aelborn basically says, "Look, we've been through this. You are going millions of people because they've got their Oracle guy. The Organians have their person who sees the future. Their person who sees the future says the Klingons and the Federation will be hand in hand. You'll be together." And the Klingons are like, "Never." And Kirk is kind of starting to get embarrassed, like, "Oh shit,
maybe
I get it." Kirk is like, "Oh," and this is like you can see it on Kirk's face right here. Because he's like, "Wait, I am arguing to wage war."
Yeah, he's like arguing with himself, really, and like the Aelborn is just like, "Why would you do this
on a planetary scale? Why would you want to do that? Is that what you're defending?" Is that what you're defending?
Yeah, exactly. But the other good quote too, though, that comes back to like kind of how they are similar. Kor is like, Kor's talking to Kirk, and he goes, "We are similar as a species. Here we are on a planet of sheep, 2 tigers, predator, hunters, killers. And it is precisely that which makes us great. And there is a universe to be taken." And Kirk's like, "It is a huge universe, Commander, full of people who don't like the Klingons." And Kor says, "Excellent. Then it shall be a matter of testing each other's wills and power. Survival must be earned, Captain." Just like a very like brash, like no fucks given.
It's the opposite of the Federation.
Exactly. The Federation's like, let's go check it out. First contact. Make sure they're okay.
The Federation says if you're surviving, you deserve to thrive.
Right. Exactly.
The Federation says if you already exist, you deserve. If you've gotten to warp travel, you deserve to be in the Federation. We're going to reach out to you and see what's going on. And the Klingons would just kill everybody.
Of course, and dominate. But also, though, the whole thing, I mean, they address it a little bit in DS9. I probably have to watch it again, though. But, it's like the overreaching hand of the Federation. I kind of felt that when Kirk was like, we're going to give you schools. You don't have any public, have any public buildings.
Yes.
You need roads. You need teachers. You need education. You haven't advanced in thousands of years. And it's like,
fucking totally forgot. What a great. So we're recording this after the end of a very long week of work and a long day. What a great scene.
Isn't that so awkward, too,
So Kirk is trying to convince the Organians, it's in the middle of the episode, that he can help them if they let him help them.
But it's
let me help you. And how he pitches it's colonizer bullshit,
yeah,
man.
Exactly.
He says, we can build schools, like you said. There's no public buildings. We can give you all that stuff. And the Organians are like, we don't need any of that shit. Kirk is just like, what are you talking about? Because
so
his view is so limited.
Mm-hmm.
His view of the universe is so small.
And it's just so funny that he doesn't hear them out. Like, he's not like, why? I mean, he finally says why at the end of the episode, but it's like...
he should have just said
pushing.
He should have just said, well, and Spock is zero help.
Care. Yeah.
It's so strange. Spock should have just been like,
true.
hey, Organians, let's talk without Kirk for a minute.
Yeah, right.
So how long have you been alive? What is this place? What's up with the castles?
True. It feels like Spock wasn't in this episode.
Yeah, he was
on the planet.
He got mind flayed.
That's true.
They put the brain melter gasm on him.
Huh.
But
they never show it, though, do they?
No.
Yeah,
they just show him afterwards being like, I'm fine. And the funny thing is, you can tell that, Spock doesn't have any emotion, but he is all... He even says, we have no need to be embarrassed.
Yeah.
The Organians they're a completely different thing.
They took them millions of years to evolve, too.
So we shouldn't feel too bad.
That. Yeah. He's more like, we saw something amazing. Like, that's pretty cool. And then he just leaves, Compared to Kirk being like, oh my God, like, I can't. I mean, he doesn't. Obviously, they wouldn't be like, I can't believe I was advocating for war. Like, it definitely wasn't that deep back then. He was more shocked of like.
That's exactly what he said. No, you're right. It was that deep.
At the end.
Yeah, he says, I can't believe I was arguing for a war I didn't want.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I'm so dumb.
No, you're not dumb at all, dude. I'm fucking falling asleep.
So anyways.
But so what the fuck? So this is the Klingon War?
Yeah, right.
So like when they talk about the Klingon War in Next Generation,
it's another one, dude.
They're talking about
another one.
A 6-hour thing where an all-powerful race of beings... Maybe it's a special when they come back. We'll find out.
We'll see Korrigan, maybe.
I do know that the Klingons are an integral part of the Trouble with Tribbles episode.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
And there's an excellent bar fight between Starfleet officers, one of whom I believe is Chekhov in a hilarious wig, fighting Klingons while Tribbles are running amok. So wild. It really does. It's fucked up that this is always prescient because, the Federation is just doing that same. They're just going out and spreading war.
Yeah, and it's just kind of like sticking their nose in first. This feels very much like the episode where, they got that fucking fighter jet and they just crumbled it. Just because they're the Federation, it was like, oh, we got to get that because, we don't want to get caught.
Well, plus...
Oops, we broke it.
Technically, it should have been first contact with the Organians, too. I mean, they didn't really have first contact back then.
See,
the
now, like,
Star
watching
Trek.
the episode again, though, knowing what happens at the end, like, there's so many cool little hints. Like, the psychic guy, or, like, the fact they didn't care that they beamed down, or, like, the fact that he just said hi, and he's like, I don't know what a councilman he's in. I guess there's smart people here, like, that all sit here.
There's not an authority, but I'm on the council, like,
it totally makes sense why it's all weird. But there's another good quote, too, at the beginning where Kirk's like,
get it.
Well, there it is. War. We didn't want it, but we got it. And Spock's like, it's curious how you humans often manage to obtain that which you do not want.
Love it. I'm so glad that you had that ready to go because I had a little bit of that quote, but I didn't get the end part.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's just nice how it all pieces together, I think that's what saves it.
And like honestly, he might as well just say Americans. Like
I know,
Gene
right?
Roddenberry is
really
being
weird.
They're very specifically.
There's Gene L. Kuhn.
I just mean because Gene Roddenberry is the producer of the show. Who wrote the episode?
This must have been a great script. Gene L. Kuhn.
Yeah.
But it was really. I think the writing saved it. I'm not gonna lie. I was pretty I thought there was going to be more action, but
there wasn't any action.
But in the end, it would have been shitty if there was. I think that's the whole point, right? Like, it would have been Saturday morning cartoon if they ended up fighting.
Yeah, and honestly, the idea, it really is, it's a sleepy episode in the sense that the Organians are really controlling the pace of everything.
Yeah, they're just
and so it really brings you down to their pace, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
You really feel the pain that they feel being around these primitive races. And I think that it is interesting from a production standpoint that there's really only like the 2 or 3 locations. Like, it's like they go back to that council room a bunch. Mm-hmm. So it was really hard for me to even like keep shit straight remembering it because it's like they had 4 scenes, like 4 scenes happen in that same council chamber.
And I was trying to read the compendium, like if it was summarizing anything, and it was just basically describing like, oh well, you know, like these are the themes, like basically what is it? They were saying that Gene Kun, this is when like one of the classic Star Trek things of just having that ultra OP race that just wipes the slate clean, you know? Because we saw that with the Squire Gothos.
Yes.
And the people's parent and that dude's parents. Mm-hmm. And then what was another one with the pink Twixie guy, remember?
Oh yeah. Arena, yes.
That one too. And it's just like introducing these big things of like, dude, nothing matters because like you're out in space and you're so tiny, you know? I think that's why that theme's going again and again.
There have been even more episodes like that than I remembered. That's wild.
Isn't that a trip? But I think this is like more emphasizing of what you said, like, you know, Americanizing or like colonialism of just like, we can help. And then they like try to help. Hospitals. But then somebody else takes over and they're like, whoops.
We can build, and it's all about like, so it's like, we can build hospitals in your city because your city is close to our enemies.
It's so
and
funny.
We don't want your enemies to have hospital. Like, you don't want our enemies to be around.
It feels weird.
They have weird mustaches.
It's just like inadvertently threatening them.
They have shoe polish.
The same enemy.
It would be a shame if nobody was here to protect you from the
you
Klingons.
Need protection.
Yeah, what if you fall down and the Klingons aren't going to pick you up? You know, I would hate for something. Oh, as we say that, there's sirens in the background.
There we go.
It ends on the bridge as usual with Kirk feeling like a big dumb human and Spock being like, "That's all right."
At least he acknowledges that he's arrogant in this one because I'm always pissed off that he's like, "Oh, whatever, that was crazy, huh?"
He really had some emotional consequences.
Yeah.
Because they really set it up like they put him like there's a lot of war talk in this episode.
I know.
They really pushed Kirk over the edge in terms of making him like rah-rah patriotic for the Federation. It was strange.
The soldier line really threw you off though too. And I totally get it. You're like, he's a scientist. And I'm like, yeah, you're right.
Picard wouldn't call himself a fucking soldier.
That's really weird. He's a space explorer, you know, like he's more exploring space. Like they don't go and shoot stuff.
No,
you know,
I don't want to use Christopher Columbus, colonizer. That's what we were talking about.
We can give you blankets.
Gross. But yeah, so don't do war, everybody.
Yeah, no, war's bad.
Let's not do war. So that's the official end of the episode. Us talking
what's
about
next
it.
Week, though?
Next week, the episode is called The Alternative Factor. Which sounds like sounds like an MTV show from the early 90s.
Band. Yeah.
It's like, tonight on The Alternative Factor, Matt Pinfield, will be playing the newest Weezer videos. Now I kind of want to watch that show. What have you been up to? What have you been into? What do you want to pitch? What do you want to talk about? Oh, 1 second. I wanted to see what the description is. Next week is The Alternative Factor, and the Paramount Plus description is an alien being fights himself across 2 realities. Is this the introduction of the Mirror Universe?
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
That becomes like the most important fucking thing.
I know. They do a really cool thing with it in Voyager, too, I think.
Yeah, I'm
50-50. 2 ships on top of each other.
I'm 50-50 on the Mirror Universe.
It's cool.
I think half the time it's good. Half the time I'm pissed off that it's hard. Like, we're not going to get a regular episode of Star Trek.
Yeah. This one, okay, look, I get what you're saying with the mirror thing. It feels like a gimmick.
And you haven't seen Enterprise. And they do a lot of this mirror universe shit, and it sucks.
I don't know. It feels like a gimme. It feels like a gimme.
The Star Trek don't get mad at me for saying that parts of Enterprise sucked. I like Enterprise more than most people. And if we end up recording this podcast for 18 years, you'll hear
Enterprise,
about it.
Oh, geez.
So
yeah, a lot of episodes to cover.
The thing that I want to promote this week, really quick, while you think about what you're going to do,
I'm still
is
thinking.
this movie RRR. It is an Indian film that has been taking the world by storm, and it's old news at this point for you all who are listening, and even for me, because they won an Academy Award for Best Song. It's a crazy, fantastic. A movie of rebellion. It's about Indian people fighting against British colonizers in the 1920s. It's directed by this guy, S.S. Rajamouli. My wife and I went and saw it at the Chinese Theater in L.A. a couple weeks ago, and it was such a great experience. Saw it on the big IMAX, but it's basically the story of two guys who are on different sides of this conflict for various reasons. They meet, and then they find out that they're actually enemies. And it's just fucking great. And it's so much better than what that exact story would be if it was made by an American person.
Yeah, for sure.
Because, spoiler alert. So, spoiler alert for RRR. The big thing that I like about it is in America, when the fucking... you got this guy who's got to go infiltrate something. He'll pretend to be the person's friend to infiltrate them. But in RRR, they become friends and then later find out that they are each other's. And it's great.
What?
Yeah, so so basically, this woman, this girl is kidnapped from a village, and the village has this badass protector guy who's going to go get her back. And then the British people that kidnap the girl have their own badass guy that has his own motivations to go stop the guy that's going to stop the kidnapping.
Damn.
And so the guy that's working for the British is looking for the guy from the village, right? But they become friends, but they don't know each other or each other. It's fucking amazing. Okay. And the special effects are great. There's so much awesome CG.
I think it's on Netflix, right?
It's on Netflix with a Hindi dub. The film was filmed in Telugu language, which is a specific Indian dialect that I don't know a lot about, so I'm not going to talk about it much.
Right.
But it's fucking great. RRR, check it out. It's fantastic.
Oh,
Throwing it to you, Al.
Yeah, okay, cool. Let's see. I didn't watch anything too much lately, but there are some new albums out that I want to recommend. There's a producer, Hit Boy. He's a longtime producer. He produced stuff for Drake and a bunch of other rappers. He came out with an album this week.
Is it an album?
It's pretty good. He's rapping on it.
Is it like he raps on
stuff.
it primarily?
It's him. It's basically him rapping, which is really interesting because, you didn't think he'd be that good, right?
It's not like, is there like a feature every song?
No, it's not. Actually, let me see.
Is there a collaborator on every song?
Almost. There's maybe 2 or 3 where he goes on his own. Which isn't bad.
I always wonder.
It's interesting. It's a risk.
I always wonder with albums like that, what those artists do when they go out and do shows.
Maybe they just DJ and then they get off the decks.
No, that's
somebody else probably does it for them, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I'm not trying. I'm not trying to sideline you. It's just something I've always been curious about with people who have like a lot of collaborations.
That's a good point.
Like even when Dr. Dre did Chronic 2000 and they did that tour with Eminem, like there were so many features that there were like 9 people on the tour. But anyway, continue.
But
what
I
else?
think it's also. Oh yeah, I think you might like this, Adam. JPEG Mafia and Danny Brown, they collabed. Coming out with an album called Scarin' the Hose.
What's it? Whoa.
It's like very sporadic, instrumentals. Like a lot of people, including electronic musicians, were like, these beats are fucking wild. Because they switch genres halfway and then they switch back and there's different bridges and hooks and stuff. But then they're also spitting some of the best verses that they've had since forever. And it's crazy because we're entering this weird era where all these rappers are getting way older, but they're still pumping out consistent shit, which is cool. And then one last thing, too. I'm sure everybody's heard of it by now, but they're pretty big. 100 Gex and their new shit.
You got me into that.
I got him, yeah.
Even the songs that I didn't like the first couple times I listened to the record, they're earworms. I listened to the whole
on the
thing.
Floor.
I hate that song so much, and I hate that I like listening to it so much. Even
it's catchy.
they made they made music that I wouldn't normally like accessible to me by making it just poppy enough. There's like a couple of ska songs.
Yeah,
they
some
like
punk.
make it just. It's got just enough to but then they got some cool drops and shit.
I think it's what is it? It's humbling too that like even though they know they're like one of the most famous groups, they still put out something like Frog on the Floor. Like they're still silly.
They're just fucking around.
They're just like, we don't care. Like I think that's kind of the rock and roll kind of aspect of it. And like by them doing that, they find new shit inadvertently, by accident. Or they bring shit back, right? But
very good.
I like my Rex.
I like the new one more than the first one.
Oh yeah,
after listening to them, but yeah, 100 Gex. I didn't think I would like.
Gek.
It's kind of like what I think Skrillex would be if I would like Skrillex.
Yeah, there we go. Like they do have a song with him.
I bet. Yeah, it sounds like it. I get it.
10,000 Gex is what it's called.
Is the new album.
Yeah, because the first one's 1,000 Gex.
And then they're going to do 100,000 Gex next, I would imagine.
Yes, to keep it going.
Or they just jump to 1 billion. It's like, oh my God, do they know something that we don't know?
Maybe. We'll see.
Thank you for listening to Trek in the Valley.
Much,
you can follow us on all the stuff. Listen to the bumper.
Yeah, we got our bumper at the end.
And also, I'm not doing anything with it yet, but we do have an email account for Trek in the Valley.
There we go.
It's trekinthevalley@gmail.com. So if you want to email us weeks from now or years from now,
maybe some advice.
You're going back through, you're listening to these after we've done season after season. You find
maybe some
email.
ideas.
Yeah, shoot us what
segments.
Or if you want to email us a more profitable podcast idea,
there we go.
All right, so thank you so much. Goodbye from Van Nuys.
Bye.
Hey, thanks for listening to this episode of Trek in the Valley that we probably recorded before we named the podcast or really knew to promote things. You can find out any information about our podcast by following me, Adam, at Adam Quesnell. It's not how you pronounce it, it's how I say it for your benefit. ADAMQUESNELL on Twitter, or at FAQRulesYOU at Instagram. Follow. I promote the show. You'll know when and where you can get it on more platforms, so it's on your platform of choice. Thank you so much, and reach out on either of those platforms if you want to tell us anything about the show. Also, I know that we're supposed to say this, like and subscribe, whatever that means. Thanks so much.